Oh, hello, and welcome to a world tour of my survival world. This world began on the 18th of March 2023, so right now we're a little over a year. And before we begin, there's a few things that I'd like to talk about. So, as you can probably tell, this is going to be a long video, so there are some timestamps here. You can skip ahead if you like. And while I talk a little bit before we start, I'm just going to show some of the aerial footage of some of the stuff that might not be on the tour, because it's a little far from our base and it's not really super big. So I'm probably going to skip that. But, well, so this is not my first survival world I played before. I had probably 3 or 4 other worlds, and I guess I would always had the same issue with the game. I would rush to get elytra, shulker boxes, beacons, and then I would just lose interest in the game. And because of that, I didn't play survival for about a year, I think. And then last year, I decided to give it a try again. But this time I tried to create a few rules that would maybe help me not go too fast to the end, and also help me create a world instead of just building things without any purpose. I'm not going to go over these rules now, it might just be too boring, but as we go on our tour, I might talk about some of them, especially because everything I build here has like a purpose. So I try not to build anything empty buildings if they don't serve any purpose. At least I try. As we take our tour, we're gonna look more closely into some of them, and we'll see if I was able to accomplish that. If I had to choose a word for this world to describe it, I would say history. Lately I've been just reading and watching a lot of things about our own history, and I wanted to try to transfer this feeling into a Minecraft world. So what I mean by that is I tend not to build ruins, like a ruined castle or something. Instead, I build something in the present day, and then if I don't use a building, I just go and just damage it a little bit, just to make it look like it's old. There are a few exceptions though. We're going to go over, I think there's like 2 exceptions to that rule, but that's just to begin telling your story. So yes, there is a lot of lore that I've been writing and creating as I play the game, but most of this lore it begins right now as I play, and goes to the future as I continue playing, instead of me going back and saying this happened a million years ago or something, you know. It's been interesting, it's been fun. Honestly, I didn't lose interest in this world for a year, which is a record. So I wanted to just show to people, maybe get some feedback as well, talk about it, and so feel free to comment or suggestions, anything you like. Yep, no problem. So let's begin here. And right here, we're at spawn. This is what I call Spawn Valley. This is where we begin. This is one of the exceptions that I mentioned. So technically, this build here, this big head, it's been here since before our time. We encountered this at spawn. The purpose of this head, by the way, is just for this. It gives me a player head. That's it. Now this statue here has a command block here hidden behind it, and yeah, it just spits out a player head for me. Why would I need my own player head? We're gonna go over that once we get to our base, which is a castle all the way like in the mountains. This is gonna be the last section of our tour, so, and then we can go over and explain why I need my own player head. So here at spawn, we can go west to this path that I've been slowly creating as I travel, but there isn't anything in that direction. It's just a village and place that I go explore. The place, the things that we've been building, it's on this path here. So if the theme, like I said before, is history, right now we're kind of like in the medieval era, or the kingdoms and empires. And what I mean by that is that we are building a kingdom, an empire, with a few towns. Of course, it's raining, but but we have a kingdom here. So everything that we build, it's either a town or a village. It's all connected to roads, and it's also connected to our castle, which is going to be our main base. Alright, sorry for that. I had to skip the rain here. As I was saying, so this is what I consider to be our lands of our empire. And this is the entrance of it. By the way, one of the rules that I said we have here in this world, I don't use the F3 screen, which means I don't use the coordinates to navigate, which is why I have that timer at the top here telling me the date, because that's the only thing that I need to know, because I do use the date count in some of our notes, our books, some of the stuff that we write about as we tell the history of this world. The great thing about not using the F3, my opinion, is that I'm not relying on just the random numbers to tell me where I am and where I need to go. And every time I go traveling or go exploring, I have to make sure that I have a path, or I pay attention to, like, that mountain, for example, to some weird, terrain or anything that could tell me, where I am, and I can easily find my way home. I can build things to help me, navigate and so on. I think I feel a lot more close, more attached to this world because of that. So if you're bored of how you're playing, try that. It worked great for me, to be honest. So I get to name things. They're not the greatest names, but like there's a lake in that direction there. It looks like a donut because it's like a lake with a piece of land in the middle. So that's Donut Lake, and it did help me quite a few times too when I was lost, and I did see that. I remember I remember exactly what that place was, and then I was able to find my way home. So yeah, this is the entrance to our kingdom. There's really nothing here. This part here is pretty bare bones. There is I just have the ideas of where things need to be, but I still have to finish building. There will be a bridge connecting to that piece of land. This is a custom waterfall, although this is literally just water coming down. I will add more details later to the sides here, for example, and the bridge as well will look a little different. I think I'm going to extend this. I think I want to do a 7 wide. But anyway, that down there, that's Ptolemy Town. This is where we get our crops, our food for the empire. So we grow a lot of wheat. I will expand even more, but as of right now, this is what we have. There will be a town that's going to be that I'm going to be building here with villagers, so we can trade. People living in there. We're going to go down there. That will be kind of like a castle or a keep or something there on that structure. And we're gonna go down here for now. And just to show some of this stuff, that there isn't a lot to show in this area, to be honest. We're gonna pay our respects here to 2 villagers that died on those dates. And so there was a raid and we were attacked and they both died, unfortunately. Those were the only villagers that I had at the time, so I have yet to move more villagers here and so they can work in this area. The town is going to be a bit small. I want to have like very squished with houses on the sides. On this area there's going to be a wall protecting. Actually, we do have another villager, just remembered. Yeah, he's still there. It's a zombie villager. He got attacked while I was trying to transfer him, so I have to cure him and then he will be, you know, the new citizen here. This area here will be kind of like the entrance to this keep. And I have some of the stuff that I'm working on here. The map of what it looks like from above. And yeah, just a bunch of crap. I tried to use an LA to help me collect some seeds or some wheat. So sometimes she helps me. This is our flag. We're gonna go into more detail what this represents once we get to our castle, but yeah, that's the castle. That's the flag. This is our horse. We use him to travel because we're a little bit far from our kingdom. And actually the only thing that I built here that I could say it's finished is this house. That's where the villagers were living at the time, or at least I think one of them was here. And you know, he had some food, he had some pottery here, some pots. And the attic, there's nothing here. So hopefully I can go back to work in this area. I really like this place. It's just lately I've been so busy in the castle that I kind of forgot about this place. I only come here sometimes to get some wheat. But yeah, I did plant some of those spruce trees here. That will be more. All right, so let's continue going inside the country. By the way, this is the I think this is the ugliest thing I've ever built. This bridge is so awful. I try to put this quickly just to have a safe passage, but I don't know, it looks so bad that I kind of want to leave here. This is the bridge of shame. But you know, it served its purpose. So yeah, that's Ptolemy Town. Ptolemy was the founder of this town. So the town has his name. So right here, this is what I call North Gate. This gate is the official entrance to our empire, to our lands, I should say. This was built after the attack at our town, after the raid, so we decided to put a wall here to protect our land. And this is very well placed actually, because that's kind of like the best way to go inside our lands would be through this area. Everything else is either a mountain or a frozen ocean, so we're kind of like pretty well hidden, I should say. But I also still a work in progress. There will be a bridge. There will be a gate here, but I ran out of slime blocks to finish this contraption here. By the way, I got the idea from another video, but the design itself is something that I kind of like wanted to give it a try and see if I could figure it out. And I did. On my test world, I was able to figure out like a way to make this bridge like go open and close. Sorry, this gate. Even though it might be a lot bigger than the video that I watched, it's probably an easier way to do this. But I was happy that I was able to at least figure out like a way to do it. But yeah, I still have to go back and finish. So once we go through the gates there, once they're finished, we're gonna go over this tunnel. And now we are... And then we got this road here that should connect to our castle, which is way off in the distance there. Once this is finished, we're gonna have a small keep here. Let me just sleep through the night. I don't want to die. Right. So once this is finished, we're gonna have, you know, like few guards here protecting it. I think a creeper blew up here. Try to remember. I haven't worked in here for a while. So show you this real quick. We got our flag here. By the way, our empire is called Saen, S-A-E-N. It's just a play on the word cyan, which is the color of the banner that I chose. Or at least actually I thought it was cyan. It was actually light blue, but anyway. I wanted to use cyan as the color to indicate our empire. This flag here is what I call the Dogs of War flag. So when we were attacked, the two villagers were not the only casualties in the attack. We had a dog with us at the time, and he actually survived a lot longer than I expected. He got to like wave 5, I think, of the attack, which got me thinking that if one dog was able to survive that long, if I had a pack of wolves with me, a pack of dogs, maybe we could survive a lot longer. So I got a new dog. This is Genghis. He's the alpha, and I've been breeding Genghis and starting to build like an army. Which, by the way, we can breed him again, I think, and, you know, get more dogs. Especially with the wolf armor that we're going to be getting pretty soon. That's going to be super helpful. Alright. There you go. Oh, yeah. And, yeah, you can sit down. Yeah, but we're slowly building our army of dogs here, so if we're ever attacked again, we can just use them to protect our lands. But again, unfortunately, still in progress. Like I said, been working more at our castle. So as we continue here, we got the tiny bridge. I just found out that this road that I built is way too small. When I'm transporting animals here, they keep falling off the edge here, so I'm gonna have to extend this eventually. This road is called Emerald Way. Right now we are 700 blocks away from our castle. That's which is we can start to see now parts of it. Emerald Way is because our castle is called Emerald Vale Castle. That's because of all the emerald that we find in this mountain here. We also have another work in progress here coming soon. That's going to be the Pork House Inn. It's going to be a small inn where, you know, if you're traveling and you need to spend the night, or if you need to eat something, you can just stop here. But still in progress. I didn't even start bringing all the materials that I'm going to need, but we got some of the stuff here. Some of the structure here is here, and it's going to be nice because once we have our castle there, or small keep, I should say, people can you know, have a lunch break and come here to eat something. So we approach here. This area here, there's nothing built, but there's a little history here on this side. There's even a sign there. This is called the Ptolemy Creek. So Ptolemy, the founder of that town, one day he was traveling here and he fell on that hole and died. Yeah. Before we had roads here connecting, there was actually a hole here. So just to remember that little bit of history happened there. So we continue on our journey here through Emerald Way. Right now we're 400 blocks away. We try to have one of those every 100 blocks. And when we get to this area here, there's two ways we can go. The cobblestone road, that's the one that leads to the castle, but we can go up here real quick to show something. So as I mentioned before, I try not to build ruins, and we have this tower here. This was actually a tower that I was working on in the early days of this world. And I had plans to just have a tower here. It was supposed to be like a stopping point, or like a watchtower or something. But as I was building it, I ran out of materials, and once I acquired the materials, I just didn't see the purpose of this tower. So I decided to... So I kept postponing, finishing it. And then at one point I just realized that I was not going to finish this at all, because I just had no reason to do so. So I just came back here and add some aging to the tower. It was like all broken down, some parts of the structure just exposed. And there's actually no reason to finish this right now. It's gonna be here. It's just ruins of our empire. We've got some loot here, by the way. Got a flag. At the time, we were calling it the Yeti Empire, because the people, the kings here, the leaders, they're all a type of Yeti. But yeah, nothing really interesting here. I mean, there's some interesting points here. You can see this I don't know how to call this, but it's a ravine, maybe this hole. It's really impressive. That's why I chose this area to build the tower. And we get some caves here that I still have to explore. If we find something interesting, maybe I can repurpose and continue working on this tower. Yeah, that's the type of ruins that I was mentioning. It's part of the history now, but I didn't have to create a lore behind it. The lore itself, it just naturally happened. So we're gonna go here to another part, another interesting thing in our base, and that's a quarry. So as I mentioned, I ran out of materials. I ran out of stone, and I came down here to start collecting stone. So I started to dig all this area here. I collected quite a lot, actually. I have a book here, journal. Yeah, this is how much I collected at the time. 195 units of spruce log, because there was the forest here. Some cobblestone, coal, and so on. And I've only ever used this one more time, around day 421. And I didn't use this ever since, because I started working on the underground of the castle, and I eventually just got so much stone and cobblestone that I just didn't really need to come out here anymore. But it's here. Eventually we're gonna have some big projects that I have in the future, that I want to do in the future, so I have this area here if we ever need. Yeah, I think it's all pretty much empty, and we have a small some chickens here. if we need some food. Like I said before, I not rushing to finish the game to get all of the best items in the game. So I don't have shulker boxes, I don't have elytra or anything. So we use other means of storage and transportation, mainly horses, donkeys, to you know, to transport our materials. Okay. So we're gonna continue here on Emerald Way. This here is a pumpkin cart that flipped over. I have to clean this up eventually. And we're gonna continue here, and there's only one more stop before we start a tour in our castle. So yeah, this world is far from done. Like even like a world tour kind of episode, I don't know if I have a lot to show, to be honest. Reason I wanted to do it now is because I completed a year, and I think it's a big milestone to me. I don't think I ever had a survival world that I played for this long. Like I said, I would always lose interest. So I'm happy that like I was able to come up with a way to enjoy slowly and not just get bored of it. So yeah, we're here. There's an intersection here. We're gonna go here to this road. That's called Primo Road. It's a very short one. It goes over this tiny bridge, and as we approach here, this is the very first town that we worked on. This is called Norvig, and it's actually just a normal just a normal villager town. This normal village that I turned into a town in the early days of this world. I built a spruce wall all around the town because I was working on that mountain on our castle, and most of this part of the town was loaded, so I didn't want any. The fox there, huh? That's cute. Yeah, the town itself, kind of like similar to the other town. I didn't build anything big yet. I only created these cobblestone paths. But I have plans to come out here and just expand this into a bigger type of town. We go down here, we have a small dock. So people in this town, they rely on fishing to get their food. So we built them a fishing boat right there, which we're gonna go and check it out. So got the fishing boat here, got a big net here. Then we got the captain cabin, and then at the bottom here we do have a villager living in here. He's a fisherman. Yep, he sleeps here, and we got some storage here too. That's where I put all the fish that we get, and there's even some interesting items right here, like some enchanted books and stuff. All stuff that I fished out of the ocean. Our fishing rods are here. Yeah. And right on the sides we have those trapdoors with the lantern. That's just to melt the ice around the boat so you can safely traverse, you know, through the water. Yeah, so that's the fishing boat. There's only one more thing to show in the town, and then we're gonna head to the to the castle that you can see parts of it. I mean, everything here is still like a work in progress, like I said before. But hopefully, you know, this will motivate me to continue not just expanding not just the castle, but like all the other stuff around us. We have a tiny house here. Cabin. We have a cabin here. And this is where I come to collect spruce wood. So we plant the big trees, let them grow, chop them down, and then we stay here in this cabin while we're doing that. Got some materials here if we need, got some food, it's not a lot, and we got a bed as well. And it's a safe and warm place so we can spend the night if we need to. And we collect all the woods that we need for our projects. I try to use the type of wood that you would encounter where you live, you know. So if I'm working on the village here, I'll probably be using spruce, maybe some oak. You know, just to kind of indicate that, yeah, we're just collecting the materials, the resources that we have around us. The mangrove on that boat is kind of like an exception. I did have some mangrove with me, so I decided to use on that. Kind of looks cool. I like this reddish color. So, going through this door here, going back to our road, to our main road, and we're gonna start going up to our main base. So this is Emerald Vale Castle. Like I said, emeralds due to all the emerald that we find in the mountains. Vale is, well, just because it snows, and when it does, you just see like it looks like there's a white veil covering the mountain. And this is the entrance. That's number 0. That's the gate. Yeah, I said I was going to explain this later, but actually there's not much to explain. It's the cyan triangle representing the mountain. There was a green triangle behind that represents the emerald. And the sun, which rises there, sets there. And the gradient. So that's the flag that represents our empire. We got some tiny doors here that takes you to the top of the tower of the top of the gate. This is all just for looks. Actually, this doesn't do anything. We're gonna start our tour going left here. All of the outside area, it's still in progress, as you can see. This is our storage area, and this is kind of temporary. We can take this staircase up here, and that would lead to the animal pen. This is where we keep our horses, our donkeys, and some other animals. Sheep. Up here we have some storage. We keep some hay bales. Got some seeds and some other random materials that I use to build. More hay bales. And these are just shears that are about to break, so we just stored them there. This is quite loud. Let's sleep here because I don't want any creepers blowing me up. Alright, out here, this is a temporary wall that I'm building. And that's the tree. So this tree, like the statue at spawn, this tree has been here before our time, according to the lore of the world. Maybe it has some sacred meaning, you know, and then that's why they decided to settle on this mountain here. that's the story. There's a small cave under the tree, and that's where I lived the first few days when I was clearing all of this mountain here from spruce trees. Eventually, that's where the crypts are gonna be, so we're gonna transfer all that there. Now, before we go inside the castle, let's talk about something else out here. Here in the back, oh yeah, by the way, this is where we keep some of the leaves and plants and stuff, because in the future there will be a greenhouse right here, and this is where we store our meat here in the snow, so it doesn't go bad. Here in the back we have a small cemetery. So every time I die in this world, I create a new skin, and that's essentially a new character. That's why I go to spawn to get my own player head, because they represent, you know, the person that I was, that was the leader at the time of this castle, the king or emperor, whatever you want to call. Michelangelo was the first one. I was able to live 170 days before I was killed by a skeleton as I was exploring the cave. And then came Ptolemy, which is why there's a town named Ptolemy Town. And he was the second one. He lived from 170 to 350, and he died on that creek that I mentioned before. Or actually I died as I was traveling back home. Then came Florence. She lived from 350 to 483. She died working here in the castle. I fell from a very high tower by accident, of course, and I died. Then came Herodotus from 483 to 631. He died. Oh yeah, he was blown up by a creeper. Also working here in something here in a mountain. And then lastly was Frida, who unfortunately only lived for a short while, shot down by skeletons as well, unfortunately. And as for this skin here, this is just a librarian, and also the historian of the empire. That's why I'm wearing the librarian outfit. So he's the librarian. He tells the stories. Oh yeah, and that's the dog that I mentioned, Bandage. He died in the raid a few days ago. Right now we're in the back here. Huh, this looks weird. Oh yeah. There you go. Yeah. Those are the player heads. And that's the cemetery. So those are the old leaders. What I mentioned before about history, that's one of the things that I had in mind, you know, a way to keep track of my deaths and use that as a way to tell the story. So I'm not really inventing all of the history, all of the lore. Most of it is just happening as I play the game. So, you know, if I die, then I just have to come up with something new. So right here, this is the entrance, and we're gonna go inside our first building here. That's the feast hall, where it was supposed to be just a feast hall, but it ended up being a lot bigger than I anticipated, and it turned out to be the first part of the castle. This is just a compass. It points north. Yeah, did you know most compasses in the game don't point north? This one does. And we got our castle. It's a lime and green tinted glass. We got some green here as well. The tower. So as we go through the store here, we got Diego. Is our dog. Used to be Frida's dog, by the way. Right here is the feast hall, like I mentioned. This is where people come together to eat, celebrate. We don't have anyone living. We don't have a lot of people living here yet, but soon I want to have lots of villagers just roaming around here. Got 2 big fireplaces on the sides, keep everyone warm. Got a parrot that we found in one of our latest trips. This is the chair that the king will sit. Got some plants here. And I got a map wall. I think this will make a little more sense. The north gate that I showed is right here. And all of this is our empire, like I said. So we're surrounded by water, frozen ocean, and this big mountain here. So this is the best way to, like, if we were being attacked by an army, this is the place that they will probably come. Unless they come by ocean, but, you know. So that's why we have a gate here. Spawn Valley is right here. Ptolemy Town. North Gate. There's a ruined tower now. Norvig Town. And our castle. This is the donut cave. Sorry, the donut island that I mentioned. And the donut village, you know. And yeah, so... let's start our tour here, going up. And we got some nice paintings here. Now the inspiration for this castle is, I would say, is like 90% Hogwarts. It might change over time because I'm not anywhere near finished with this, but it might change, you know. I used to play a lot of Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Dracula's castle is just a huge inspiration as well. So I got some paintings, some nice flower pots here. This is just like a mezzanine, like a balcony. Maybe some guards can keep an eye on, you know, what's going on down in the feast hall. And then we can go up there to the first floor, where we have a couple of rooms. That used to be Herodotus' room. He lived here. That's the outfit that he used to wear. That's his old bed. Every time they die, I do replace their bed with just wool because I don't want any villagers getting assigned to these beds here. This room is empty right now. Then we got treasury room, number 1. This is where we keep our gold, our iron, and treasury room number 2 is where we keep our only diamond block and some emerald. Then we got our loom room. This is where I make some of the banners here. Dogs of War banner, healer's flag, which I'm going to show you what it means in a minute. That's the Cyan Empire flag, and that's just the under construction flag. And some other experiments. We keep some wool and some dye here, loom, and I need to put a cauldron here eventually, so yeah. And that's Frida's old bedroom. That's her outfit. Fortunately, she passed away recently in her orange bed. And here in the far back, we got Ptolemy's chamber. He was actually the first one to live inside the castle. Michelangelo never got to live here. He died before this was finished. So he got the big one. The big blue bed. The big closet. And a bunch of his stuff. He has a map here. Compass, you know, just some old stuff. Then we can go back here, keep going up. Because we do have the attic here. And that's where I keep some older stuff. Some old flags here that I don't use anymore. And just some random crap. I keep these chests here and I try to deposit something every time I open them, so, you know, just it just feels like it's just clutter. And then we can go up. There's nothing in here actually. It's just the top of the tower. I had the idea of building a clock tower here. using a bell and the daylight sensor, so maybe I'll eventually start working on that here. That's the tower. That's the top part of the castle, or at least the top part of this bit here of the castle. But if we go down, that's the cat, by the way. He doesn't have a name yet. I'm open to suggestions, by the way. So under the stairs here, we got some storage here. Some more storage, I should say. On both sides, that's we keep some wood. Yeah, and some other stuff. Down here, so this is the underground. This is right under the feast hall. And this is where the kitchen is. So in the kitchen, we got some pots here so we can keep some water. Some herbs and plants here if we're gonna cook with some of those spices. Got some food utensils here, shears, some bowls. This is our smokers, a sink. Got a big cauldron here to make our soups. And we have the furnace, the big one. We got some composters here and some rotten flesh. This is the trash can. That's the chef's outfit, by the way. And a pantry where we keep, I mean, this is not actually food, but the rest is food. And then we got another closet here with some other types of food. And my crafting table is up here. And that's just where I keep the pumpkins. Well, that's the kitchen. We got, if we go through the store, we have a corridor here. This is where the chef sleeps. His name is Rico. Go to bed. And we got 3 big paintings here. And this corridor is the flag corridor. So like I said before, I actually thought this was cyan. So that was our first flag, which is basically just a one-color flag. Eventually we updated our flag into a gradient of blue, light blue and green. And the third version of our flag is the current one. That's the one that you see everywhere. That's just a painting. These 2 staircases, they will lead to the feast hall. And this painting here has a secret. If you go through the skull, you get to the office. This is our hidden room here, the office. And this is where we keep some of our more important things, some more rare stuff. So some of the potsherds that I found. This is just an emerald ore from our mountain. This is the first piece of grass that we used to grow all of the grass here in the in the mountain. This is Michelangelo's boots. And some other crap here. If we go down here, we got a nice fireplace with 3 flags here. Got an enchantment setup here. And we got a restricted section. So, restricted section has some of the pillager banners. We don't want those things, you know, out in the open. This is a Vex flag that I made. We keep them down here too. We got some totems of undying. We don't know exactly what they do here, so we're gonna keep them in the restricted section for now. That's the Vex flag, by the way, that I made. And some things with mending. I'm not a huge fan of mending, to be honest. I like that we have many different tools and they break and they go missing, you know. So for now, these are forbidden in our kingdom. Confiscated all of the mending tools that we see. Yeah, that's what we have in the restricted section. Right here, we just have a book. This is the book of projects of our empire. Got 10 pages, but there's really nothing written in it yet. So, and then through these doors, this is our office. So this is our chair here. I do have one book here. This is out of the Matrix. This is not related to the world, but this is just the seed of our world. The date that it started. That's the version that it started. And this is the date that it was updated to the 1.20.1, which is the current version that I'm playing right now. Yeah. I'm gonna put my head, I think, here. Just for now. And that's the project wall. These ones are projects that I need to work on our castle. These are projects that I need to do on our empire. And this one's still empty. Probably stuff that I need to work on, like a specific town or something. So that's the office. This is where I come to, you know, think about future projects. So through the skeleton painting. Right here is the storage area, by the way. And like I said, this is all temporary. I don't know how my storage will look. And then through this area here, this corridor, this is where we keep our music disc, our jukebox. We got a small reading room with some enchanted books. These are all empty books, and these are other type. These are books and quill. So again, talking a little bit about the history of this world. My main goal, I would say, is building a library right here in our castle. I have already designed a library in my creative world, and it's going to be huge. It's super big. It's underground. I'm going to show you where it's going to be in a minute. And the idea is that I want to have not just the bookshelf, but actually the chisel version with actual books everywhere, in every single row. So the idea of these books, they will contain useful information, mostly history, but also some journals, science fiction maybe, poems, anything I can think of that could be put in a book. I will write that book and add to our library. So right now we only have a few of those. I have a book that is about the history of the Emerald Vale Castle. I have started writing a little bit about it. We got a book about the roads of the Empire. This is more like a guide. We have a book of tools, weapons, and armors, also kind of like a guide. I have their names and their status. You know, some of them needs to be fixed. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of the history of this tool. Diamond axe, you know, and its status and so on. So you got like a traveler's chest plate and so on. Also more like a guide, but I do use this quite a lot. A book about the Yeti dynasty. Oh, by the way, those heads in the cemetery, that's a dynasty, and that's the Yeti dynasty. That's why they all kind of look light blue color. They are kind of like the same. A book or a compendium of banners and flags. So that's a little bit about each of those flags and how to make them. I've got a healer's flag, you know, the Vex banner and so on. We got a book of finances, yeah. So I keep track of our money, I should say, our riches. So these are the diamonds. I started doing this on day 411, and I'm doing this every 100 days. So we're been losing a lot of diamonds, by the way. I need to go collect some more. These are the emeralds, iron, and gold. We got a guide of signs and symbols, so I use these signs sometimes. So I'm gonna create a book so I can copy and paste them if I ever need. These are journals, so so I always carry a journal with me. And a journal, I just write down, what happened, and I can trace back all the way to like day 1. And I can use these as source to write more books in the future. So that's, like, I would say one of the more important things about my world is how I keep track of its history. It's a map of the castle. This was on day 602. So this is locked. Right through here we got the armory. That's where I keep shields, armors, weapons, tools, and everything. Armor trims. And through here, this area is under construction, so that's why we have the banner. And I just don't want anyone going through here and getting hurt, so we don't have health insurance here yet. We have to protect this area. I'm going to show what's in here though. If we go down here, this is where the tower is going to start. This is something else, I'll show you this in a minute. This is where the lowest level, and we are way deep in the mountain. And the cool thing is that this mountain is really tall, but it goes really deep. There's skulk all the way down there. It's a lush cave with skulk. Anyway, this is going to be the lowest part of this tower. This is 39 blocks by 39, and this is what I call the Grand Staircase. The Grand Staircase is going to be like a main hub, and it's going to go all the way up to... It's going to go all the way up, probably about 120 blocks up, and it's going to connect to a lot of other places in our castle. Kind of like how you get that main tower at Hogwarts, where it's the staircases that keep changing, keep moving. That's the inspiration here. I started to dig some of the stone out. That's what I said, that I've been collecting a lot of stone lately because I've been working here. And this is where the staircase is going to be, so I already have it like where it needs to be. As we go up, we're going to keep going outside of the mountain, or I should say the cave, and we're just going to keep going up. And this is how big it's going to be. And it's going to go up probably all the way there, plus the top of the tower, so even higher. This is where I died twice. I died one time when I fell off somewhere here, all the way there, and the second time was a creeper that blew up here as I was digging using the moss technique. So yeah, that's going to be the Grand Staircase. This is going to be a huge project that I'm working on, and this is going to take time. It's going to take a lot of time. So through here we got this little garden, and we got some blossom tree. And as we go down the stairs, we're back at the entrance of the castle, and we're going to check out this building. This is what I call the hospital wing. So we do have a section of the castle that is focused on curing or on healing, all medical related stuff. And that's why we created the Healers Guild. That's also how you have the Healers banner. It's to represent the group of people that take care of this area of the castle. You can hear some villagers. We got a couple of villagers living in the underground here. And through here, the theme is it could be a sun, or it could be a flower. either way. You can read both ways, I should say. You got a flower pattern here, or a sun pattern. We got a big furniture here with, you know, just some random stuff. Got a grandfather clock. And then if we go up the stairs, let's start going up first. I'm not gonna open this, but there are 3 LAs living here. It's just a small storage room. Through here you go back to the garden, and up the stairs we're gonna go to a meeting room. So, you know, all the healers, they can come up here, have a meeting if they need to discuss some new technique or something. Yeah. And they got a nice view, by the way. Pretty cool view of the castle. Yeah, we got some flower pots here by the window, some lighting. This is under construction, and if we keep going here, it's going to be connected to the grand staircase, so that's why it's still under construction. This is just a door leading outside. Let's go here first. This is the I don't know the name of this place, but I don't know what's this called, but it's just a room with all the beds. Infirmary, maybe. We got a nice fireplace here, and we got some chests, you know, so if people are staying here, they can put their stuff in the chest. Then we got Florence's room. So Florence was living here. She is the one who built this section of the castle. And this was her bedroom, and some more books. Her journals are still here. She had 2 because I just wrote so much. And these are her outfit. Yes, I used a emerald trim on the leather boots because why not? Fireplace, and then we can go down here to the underground. So if we go through here, that's the grand staircase as well. But we're gonna go here first. This is a small storage area. And then here we got the lab. This is where we keep the zombified villagers. So they go here in the quarantine room before they can get before they can be healed. So you got one here, got another one here, and this one, I think he has full golden. Oh, not full. He doesn't have the leggings, I think. Does he? He does. Anyway, yeah, pretty cool. He's in quarantine. Right through here, we have a place that we grow nether wart so we can make potions. So we got some heat here and some steam, you know, to create a good environment for the nether wart to grow. Try to make this as if it was like under a cave or something. We got this area, and this is the lab. This is the office. We got some more books here. Got a patient's log, patient's care log, and this is where we keep some information about the patients. And a compendium of effects, which I didn't start writing about it yet. We got a cabinet here with potions and some empty glass bottles, some ingredients, and our brewing stands. Got some water to make potions, and then through here we got the library, or the temporary library. Just 2 empty books and the lecterns, because we have 3 villagers. Where's the other one? We got Altair. He's the first villager, by the way. I should say first citizen of our castle. I cured him using a weak potion of weakness that I found on an igloo, and he's been with us ever since. A while ago, I cured Martina. And where's the other one? Oh, he's in the... yeah. This is the toilet. It's probably stuck here. Yeah. He's in the shower. This is Pedro. Go to bed. Go to bed. Yeah. Yeah, this is the this is the bathrooms, by the way. So we got the tiny toilets, sink, and the shower. You know, you can take a shower if you like. And yeah, and then through here, you know, it's we're gonna go back to where the grand staircase will be in the future. And I said I was gonna show you the library, or where the library will be. It's gonna be right here at the lowest level of the grand staircase through here. I forgot the dimensions exactly, but I think it's like 45 by 60 something. I have to check the numbers, but it's really big. It's so big that it's even coming outside of the mountain. But the design that I have, it's that it's gonna be going down we're gonna be expanding downwards instead of upwards. So, you know, technically we can continue expanding our library as much as needed. I don't have to keep redoing the ceiling or anything, and we just keep going down. This is gonna be huge, so it's gonna take me a very long time. And yeah, so this is the long-term project. If we go up here, we are back at this section of the castle, and we're back at the kitchens. And yeah, that's pretty much all of the stuff that I want to show. Ooh, there's a zombie villager there. Hopefully we can see if we can capture this guy. Hello. There you go. Nice, I have another one. Cool, that's how I that's how I get villagers to live here, by the way. All of them were zombies that at one point we cured them and made them our citizens. So there's one last thing I want to talk about. And that's going to be the items that I use. So like I said, I don't use mending. And that means that every item that I craft, they kind of have a history. So we got like a coastal helmet, which is the one that I was able to get aquafinity and respiration, and I put the coast armor trim to kind of celebrate that. And we got the traveler's chestplate, so, and the traveler's leggings as well. So that's the one that I use when I go explore or go on a journey or something. And we normally keep them here, so we can use them. But normally I wear leather armor here. Normally have like a leather set that I use. And that's because, you know, it's cold out here, so I would imagine that leather is what we use here to protect us from the cold, you know. And that goes for everything, actually. Even swords and pickaxes. You know, that's Ptolemy's glory. That's his sword that he used. Some other diamond pickaxes, I don't remember exactly all of them, but you know, there's bits of history here. The Blaze Bridge shield, I think I used this when I was traveling to the Nether for the first time, and I used the shield to fight a bunch of blazes. We've got a Vex shield, that's in commemoration of the the raid. So like I said, we were attacked at Ptolemy Town by that by those pillagers, right? I got to wave, I think wave number 5, and that's when a bunch of the evokers started to come out, and there was a lot of the Vexes attacking me, which I also, by the way, I call that the Battle of the Vexes because there's so many of them. And even though we lost, we let our citizens die, I still made a shield in commemoration of that Vex shield. That's a Dogs of War shield. Got the Protector helmet, the Cold Feet. I found this leather boots with Frostwalker, and I used this to travel to a bunch of places through the water. And I carried all of my donkeys with me. That's the only way I could think of to carrying more storage with me. Because as you know, donkeys, if they're carrying a chest on their back, they cannot go on the boat. So, a bunch of beats of history here and stuff. Eventually, we're gonna have like a I'm not gonna say a museum, but more like we're gonna put them in armor stands to properly, show them part of the history. If you got to the end, thank you so much for watching. It's feel free to add any comments, suggestions, ideas, or even favorite colors down in the comments. And I see you on the next one. Thank you.